G'day friends, it's Crypto Kraut, and today we are going to have a look at AUSD, which is the stablecoin issued by Alpaca Finance. AUSD is a pretty cool stablecoin since you can borrow it against BUSD, USDT, and BNB that you deploy in the platform, and essentially it is a self-repaying loan that you can take here. So over a long enough time period, your loan will repay itself and you will be debt-free again. And on top of that, it has various mechanisms in place to ensure that it is keeping peg or stays very, very close to it, while loaning it out to participate in leveraged yield farming. If we click here on open position, this is what we are presented with. First thing we have to do is to select the amount of BNB we want to collateralize and the amount of AUSD we want to borrow. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to meet the minimum debt of 500 AUSD. Instead, I'm just going to walk you through what all of this means. So the collateral locked in this case is the BNB that we are going to turn into IB BNB that are going to be put into the lending pool and then are loaned against. Collateral available to withdraw would be the amount of BNB that we can deduct from this position again and still keep the position alive instead of being liquidated. AUSD borrowed is pretty self-explanatory, and AUSD available to borrow means how much could we borrow additionally to the 7.99 AUSD, but that would also move us closer to liquidation. So it is not really something recommendable. You should always just go with the amount displayed when you hit save max. The debt ratio is 57.49%. So we are collateralizing $14.12 and we are borrowing 57.5% of that, which is 7.99 AUSD. The safety buffer stands for how much BNB could drop in price before our position gets liquidated. In this case, it is 7.5%. And we can also see the liquidation price of IBNB, which would forcefully close our position. And that is sitting at $385. Currently, one IBNB is sitting at $442. Also here worth pointing out that one IB BNB is going to be always be worth more than BNB, and that ratio is just going to increase. The lending APR is APR that we are earning for taking out this loan. We are also getting 0.31% in Alpaca, and we are paying a stability fee of 1.72%. So this means that we are getting paid for taking out this loan in BNB terms and in Alpaca terms, putting us at a total APR of 1.63%. The minimum debt size refers to the minimum amount of AUSD we have to borrow to be able to actually open the position. Maximum debt ratio refers to the ratio between collateral supplied and debt taken on. So we could take on more debt, but that would move us closer to liquidation, so we will not do that. And the liquidation penalty would be 5%. Of course, if we were to borrow against BUSD or USDT, the safety buffer and everything liquidation related would be a very minor concern, as BUSD or USDT are stablecoins and therefore are not expected to drop in price, which could lead to liquidation. So this is unique to borrowing against BNB, which is of course a volatile asset, so please keep that in mind. And if you wanted to repay your debt to unlock your collateral again, you would go to the portfolio section, select AUSD, and if you have any active positions, you are able to repay your debt here and your collateral becomes liquid again. But the utility for AUSD doesn't end here. You could use it for the purposes of liquidity mining to get roughly 16% APY, or you could try to scoop it up for under $1 and sell it when it hits peg again. And as a rule of thumb, you should always buy AUSD when it is below $1. When it is above $1, you can borrow it against any of these three assets and you could immediately sell it to turn a profit. So let's talk about how to put your AUSD to good use. For example, you could go to the staking page and provide liquidity in the ellipsis pool to earn 13.8% APY. To do so, you want to click here, connect your wallet, and then you can provide liquidity in any of these coins. and receive ellipsis LP tokens. After that, you go back here and you can stake your LP tokens here to receive 13.8% APY in Alpaca tokens. Another cool thing that you can do is to loop borrowing AUSD with the help of our Excel sheet. And this has the effect that you can increase the amount of assets that you deploy into the lending pool. Here we are looking at a handy calculator in Excel that will allow us to estimate how often we can loop and what the results will be. As suggested, we should definitely do this only with stablecoins. So we're going to go with BUSD. We want to supply 1000 BUSD. You can find out the conversion rate here. Let's just assume this is correct. The BUSD price is 1. And here we are going to select 90% as that is the maximum amount allowed by the system. And because we are borrowing against a stablecoin, we are not expecting any volatility. So now the calculator is returning that we have 3 cycles. 3 cycles of collateralizing BUSD by putting it into the lending pool and borrowing AUSD against it to sell AUSD for BUSD to repeat the cycle. So this gives us increased leverage, and because there is no volatility expected in a stablecoin, it effectively allows us to take on much bigger debt than originally allowed by the system. So we are ending up at a leverage pretty close to 3. And we can also see our estimated liquidation price, which is 1. But this is the liquidation price of IB BUSD, not BUSD. So currently it is sitting at $1.114 and it can drop to $1. So unless BUSD is losing peg in a very dramatic manner, this should put you at a very safe spot from liquidation. Yeah, big shout out to Nikita for providing this calculator. I'll attach it in the video description. And if you got any feedback or comments, please do let me know. Yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.